Welcome to Michigan's True Spirit podcast, brought to you by North River Vodka. North River Vodka, it's Michigan's true spirit. Now, here's Chris and Eric.
Strange wind surrounds us here at the peninsula. Thank God you found us. We could be good friends or whatever.
Welcome to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. I am Chris, and I am here with Eric.
Hi, friends.
This is the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. We talk about all things Michigan: food, drink, sports, culture, music. But Michigan's True Spirit is also the motto for a vodka brand I own called North River Vodka. So I have a question for you, Eric. A friend sent me a video today that was on Instagram, but I found it on YouTube today, and I would love to share it on this podcast. But it's a little X-rated, a little vulgar. I guess not X-rated, a little cursy. But do I always talk about potatoes?
Well, it's in your genetics. I mean, it's a family tradition. You do like to talk about potatoes. That's true. You know, the fascinating thing I learned about the potato industry, of which you are a cog in the machine of. Tell the folks listening what the name of the trade newsletter is or magazine.
There's many of them. Are you talking about?
There's, of course,
Spudman? No. Listen, Spudman magazine. Ironically, a guy I gave a sports writing job. I gave him his first sports writing job at the Citizen Patriot when I was a sports editor there a bajillion years ago.
Yep.
Ended up being the managing editor of Spudman.
Spudman. This is like the world's least exciting Marvel superhero.
There's also a magazine.
Spudman.
Hold on. I swear there is a magazine called like the Wisconsin Commentator or something like that.
Commentator.
Commentator, yes. And a very popular brand of farm equipment is Spudnik.
Spudnik.
Yes. I'm going to look this up. I didn't know we were going to go here. Clearly we don't do Spudnik equipment. My family's got some Spudnik equipment. Yeah.
And I'm assuming their internet video channel is YouTuber.
Oh, good Lord. Are we going to do potato puns all night? I have a friend, I had a friend a million years ago, and he said something about Chris is a potato farmer. He's outstanding in his field. Another friend that heard it still thinks it's funny, like 35 or 40 years later. So yes,
it is a classic joke.
We could do potato puns all night. But speaking of which, we should get this out of the way before I forget. Please drink responsibly. If you're not going to drink responsibly, please don't drink at all. I am sporting a North River Vodka ski cap tonight. I was trying to change it up. And if I could turn around, I would show you it says North River Vodka on the back. It's reversible. But what are you drinking? I see the bottle of vodka strategically placed over your, like you always keep a bottle of vodka on the couch. Is that what you do?
You know,
it looks like it's there for promotional reasons.
You never know when I need snuggles. If I'm feeling a little cold at night and I need some intimacy, it's always there for me. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm drinking a Negroni, but it's a Kynar or Shinar Negroni, which is the artichoke herbal Amaro. Yeah, I'm a little bougie. Come on.
You're very bougie.
China is tough to find. I mean, you'll find it, but it's got a little picture of an artichoke on it. Mix it with whatever and some vermouth, and you're good.
North River Vodka, Rose's lime juice, and an ice cube. Old school, back to where I was. I believe that is a.
Don't make me shame you.
Is it a gimlet?
Squeeze a lime. Squeeze a real lime.
Kill it. But anyway, we could talk about alcohol all night. We can talk about potatoes all night. I'll try to remember to post a link to that video in the episode description. Yes, but if you just go to YouTube and search for Chris and potatoes and look for three guys in a van talking, you'll be entertained. It's not safe for work. But I do not talk about his potatoes as much as the Chris in the video. I don't think. If I do, you should do an intervention. Did you? I get a thumbs down on my face.
You do love yourself a potato. Who doesn't? Yeah. It's the apple of the earth.
So if you guys are expecting scintillating guests tonight, like we had last week with Jason Beck of MLB.com, the only guests you're going to have tonight are Eric and me. So we'll be right back to talk about something.
You're listening to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast.
Welcome back to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. I'm Chris. I'm here with Eric, and this is a segment we hate to call My Michigan. It's something about Michigan. The podcast is about Michigan. We're required to talk about Michigan. So this is how we do it. Often we talk about like geographical areas or an event or something, but this week we're going to talk about sports. I got a friend who's been in Toronto for like a week.
Mm,
I texted him and I was like, "Hey, are you at the World Series?" He's like, "Dude, tickets are like $1,000, so
yeah.
I couldn't go." A couple days later, I texted him. I'm like, "Are you still in Toronto?" And he's like, "Yeah, why?" And I'm like, "Are you at the baseball stadium, like watching the road game?" And he's like, "They do that?" So I told him this last night in like the
Hmm.
fourth inning, and I think he tried to go, and I think it was sold out. We're recording this on Wednesday night, October 29th. Game five, I think, has just started in the last
Just
couple
about to
minutes.
start. Yep.
I think he was going to stay another night so he could watch a game on TV with, tens of thousands of
What do they
his
charge for that? To watch a
$15 to get in.
pretty
I'd
good.
go. That'd be
I'd do
fun to
it.
hang out with a bunch of fans. Yeah, that's cool. Like, where else are you going to get with a group of fans of a team that you love that are that excited about for $15?
I visited Toronto for the first time this summer, and I thought it was tremendous. What a fun city. The CN Tower is like right next to it. There's like a little plaza. There's Ripley's Aquarium. Loved it. It was nice to be able to get some context for what Rogers Center is and stuff.
Yeah.
I credit myself with their success.
I only went to Toronto a couple times to cover the Tigers, and I took my family once, and we had some things that will never be forgotten, some weird incidents. I don't blame Toronto. We don't need to get into that tonight, but it is a really cool city. But I wasn't aware of this till I saw, I think Ben Verlander was on Twitter talking about this. Justin Verlander's brother, has got his own podcast, Flippin' Bats. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, very popular. He's got like 200,000 followers or something. But he was asking people from LA how to pronounce the the city name and say it again.
Toronto? Toronto? I didn't add the second T.
Apparently, you don't say the second T. Apparently, it's Toronto. If you're from Toronto, you say Toronto.
It's Toronto. Yeah.
Anyway, this was a long introduction to our My episode tonight, which we are going to discuss like what's the greatest Michigan related sporting event you ever saw that you were a fan of? And we can back into
Ooh.
this and talk about some other things we saw. Let's save it. Let's save the best stuff for the end. So, like some examples of some really cool sporting events that you have seen.
Hmm.
Don't give away your best one yet, though.
Oh man. Oof. I went to the Tigers game where Weaver and Carlos Guillen had their little standoff. I don't know if you
I was
remember this.
I covered that game.
Yep. I was at that game. It was a
Yes.
fun game. Of course, it's a little hard to pick up all the details when you're just in the crowd, but I come to learn later, there's this little it was posturing, and Weaver was just kind of a villain. So it was fun to boo, and we ended up winning that game, and that was a fun game.
That reminded me of, speaking of villains, a game. Gosh, this was like I was barely starting to cover the Tigers. It was like one of my first games ever, and I was like the backup writer. I was kind of getting trained on how to cover them with a guy. They were playing the Twins, and um, Delman Young played for the Twins at the time,
Wow.
and somebody for the Twins hit Adam Everett with a pitch, I believe. And Adam Everett is like he was like hitting ninth. He was hitting like 210. He's
Yeah.
the nicest guy in the world. It
Yep.
was like hitting a
Beanpole.
the sweetest old lady at church with a ball. Like, so the next inning, I don't remember who threw the pitch, but somebody hit Delman Young, and Delman Young dropped his bat and started yelling at his teammate in the dugout for getting him hit. And it was a scene. Like, I've never seen a teammate just turn on a guy and verbally abuse him in front of the whole crowd. And my job that day was like, and it was the first time I ever did this. The guy who was writing was like, "Hey, go to the visitors clubhouse and get quotes about Delman Young wanting to kill his teammate." So that was a pretty interesting one too.
Pretty good.
This is just because of my job. This is not me like being like, look at all the cool events I've been to. But I did go to the home games for the 2006 World Series when the Tigers played the Cardinals. Um, I went to the Super Bowl when the Steelers played the Seahawks at Ford Field, and I
Mm.
covered it. I mean, we were like the 80,000th ranked media member there, and we sat in the stands in like these places where they put tables over chairs. But it was amazing to be at a Super Bowl. Um, I covered the World Series when the Tigers played the Giants. Funny thing, I remember getting to the World Series when the Tigers played the Giants, and before the game, thinking that like this is such a big event, I have to write better.
Mm.
Like I have to do this justice. And then I remember thinking, dude, you can only write as well as you can write. Like it's not like you can up your game because
Your
you're at the World Series.
manufacturer.
You still suck. Like if you sucked in the spring training, you still suck in World Series Game 7. So I did my best. But before I get to my coolest thing as a fan? Do you have any other nominees or events that you
So I was at the World Series game at home versus San Francisco. And somehow my dad got connections to tickets, and I think it was some, I don't know all the ins and out, but we were plunked right in the center of all the San Francisco Giants fans. And the camera crew came around, and so I'm like full Tigers gear, and they wanted to interview somebody who was sitting right next to me. It had something to do because we were surrounded by the San Francisco front office people. And like one of the producers came up to me and said, "Oh, Aaron Andrews or whatever the heck it is going to come interview somebody, and we only want people with Giants gear in the picture." And I said, "No, I'm pretty comfortable right where I am, thanks."
as
You
you
know,
should?
I got my, Quentin Berry jersey on and my Tigers cap, and so, and sure enough, they stick a camera right there, and here I am in the picture on Fox, just like, "Hi, people." So yeah, I got images. I don't know, I was a little shy at the time, so I didn't circulate it, but there I am on the broadcast, me and my dad hanging out. That was memorable.
While we're here, let's just raise the curtain on broadcasting in general. All
Oh,
right.
it's manipulative.
I was at one of those playoff games. I think it might have been the 2006 because I was sitting in the outfield where the auxiliary media press box was, or whatever, way out in
Yeah.
right field. But like all of a sudden they get on the scoreboard and they're like, "Hey, we're going live on Fox in 10 seconds. Go crazy. 10, 9."
Yeah, yeah.
So when the cameras come on at the game, it looks like the Tigers fans are going nuts just organically.
Yeah.
Like it looks, "Oh, look at this environment. Isn't this a great playoff environment?"
All
And they were
manipulated.
coerced. It was manipulated.
Oh yeah.
On a related non-sports note, a million years ago when I was in college, I had an internship in Washington, D.C. at Fox 5. And I helped out with a sports thing, which is a totally different thing. But at Fox 5 in DC is where they filmed America's Most Wanted. Do you remember America's Most Wanted?
For sure.
So on America's Most Wanted, they would tell the story of whoever the fugitive they were looking for. They would come back to the studio, and the host would talk, and there would be people behind him frantically answering phones.
Yeah.
Tip line, right? Show's recorded. Like
Yeah. It's all
they're
BS.
on there on Saturday night. They're pretending to pick up the phone. On Sunday at Fox 5, all the real I think the same interns came back and actually answered the phones because they rang after the show was broadcast. But I don't remember what night it was taped, but whatever night it was taped, everybody's frantically pretending they're on phones. And it was funny, there were bookshelves in the back. And I remember going up, and what they had done is glued like 20 books together,
Yeah.
cut all the meat out of them so that they could just pick them all up at once and like dust the shelf. Like everything on TV is fake.
Yeah. It's like you go to Bed Bath and Beyond, and it's just one towel, and it's all like in some foam. It's just fake. Yeah. Also, the decibel meters, like you go
Oh
to a
yeah.
stadium, like, "All right, let's go crazy," and the little needle's like, "Woo, doo, doo." It's all BS.
What else is BS?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Most of it.
So what's your was the best one? Did you name your best one? What's your best one? Let's
Mm.
reveal the greatest pinnacle sports fan moments. And
I almost forgot
I
this
back a
one.
long ways because I've been a writer a long time and not a fan. But go ahead.
When I was just a lad, I don't know if I was in middle school or high school, but my high school played Detroit Country Day in like the playoffs, and Shane Battier was playing for Detroit Country Day. And I'm trying to remember, this was a long time ago, but I think our high school team beat them in the playoffs. Like that was a big deal at the time. Like Chris Webber had come through, but Shane Battier was like still there. So that was
I saw he was a junior when I was in college. I lived up near Traverse City, and Chris Webber came up and they played Traverse City,
Mm.
whatever it was at the time. I think it was just Traverse City. Now they have East and West, or I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on. They had a giant school and they were ranked for the first time ever. And tickets sold out in like 9 minutes. And I mean, I knew who Chris Webber was, but I didn't realize until we saw the game. And he was a junior and he was an absolute man amongst boys. Like I had never seen I covered a lot of high school sports, and there's always a kid who's really good. And the people in the community are like, man, he's going to go pro, and he's not. Like he's
Yeah.
playing Class C basketball, and he's scoring 60 points a game, and that's great. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. But like when you see a guy who doesn't belong in high school anymore, and you know he's going, it's just different. Like he went behind his back on a breakaway dunk, and he must have dunked 4 times. He looked like he slept walk through the first half and woke up at halftime, and I don't know, ton of
Country Day
points,
people,
ton of
they're
rebounds.
they're built different. I tell you
It
what.
was it was a scene.
Yeah.
The biggest sports fan moment I've ever witnessed was when I was in college at Northern Michigan University. They were Division II school and had an Olympic training center. There was a lot of sports up there, but the rumor was I know they were Division I hockey. The rumor I always heard when I was in school was the only two sports they're Division I in is hockey and cross country skiing. I never confirmed the cross country skiing, but they were Division II school, but they played Division I hockey as they do today. And I remember being in a all great ideas when you're in college are hatched in a bar. We were in a bar like Thursday night, and we're like, if they win the Final Four game tonight, we're gonna drive to St. Paul and
Hmm.
watch the. My friend was there, and his girlfriend was there, and her friend was there, and she's like, I got a credit card, which was rare. I'll pay for all the gas. And we drove across Wisconsin and watched Northern Michigan University play Boston University in the Division I national championship game, which would have been cool enough watching your own team while you're in college play a
Hmm.
Division I national championship game. But Northern won the Division I national championship game 8-7 in 3 overtimes. There were
Wow.
14 goals in regulation, and then it took 3 overtimes to
Wow.
get the 15th one. And there were like pucks hitting the crossbar in the
Hmm.
last minute. Boston University had a breakaway like at the buzzer, and Bill Pye, I'll never forget his name, was the goalie for Northern, made a save at the buzzer. And if you go look up the rosters, if you're a hockey fan at all, you'll notice if you know one name on the Northern team, I'd be surprised. Brad Wawrinka played in the NHL, but if you look at the Boston University team that year, it was stacked. It was like I should look. I know Tony Amonte was on that team,
Hmm.
but there were multiple future NHL players, Olympians. I don't want to say it was David versus Goliath, but I do remember during the game, like one team went out to a 2-0 lead, and then the other team scored 5 straight goals, and then they ended up being tied. And I remember at one point, like in the first or second period, sitting down because I thought I was having a heart attack. Like I was just screaming so
Yep.
loud because there's nothing like being a college sports fan when you
Yeah.
are in college. Like it's
Yeah.
just not the same after that.
Yeah.
So that's my moment. I couldn't even tell you what year it is. I want to say 91 or 92. You can look it up. They didn't win a whole lot of national championships, but yeah,
That
that was
sounds good. Sounds good and very satisfying.
it was funny because we stayed Friday night before the game with like a roommate of a friend of my friend. So we arrived at this dorm having never met the person we
Yep.
crashed with. And then the game ended, we were going crazy and it was whatever at night. And we looked at each other, we're like, we don't have a place to stay tonight.
Right.
So we drove back across Wisconsin in a blizzard. And I remember getting to the cafeteria and having breakfast, and somebody was talking about the game, and I was like, "Yeah, we were there." And they were like, "What?" I think we might have been the first people to arrive back at campus
Yep.
after the game. So, but it's just a perfect college experience,
Yeah.
road trip, sports fan. We had like $9 to our name.
Yep.
Like it was a great time. So anyway,
The stuff you do in college. So
yeah,
good.
you can never relive that. So fire away. What you got?
Well, that sounds so satisfying as much as my probably premiere experience was a little bit unsatisfying.
Oh,
My my I've talked about this a lot on social media, but I was at the Armando Galarraga imperfect game. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday night. I happened to come into some tickets. I were like, it was last minute. All right, let's go. We busted across the state. Good seats. We were right down the first baseline, prophetically, and and we're just enjoying the night. It's a lazy night. The stadium is a third full. It's nothing's really, it gets to the fourth or fifth inning, and I kind of look at my buddy. I'm like, have they even gotten a hit yet? I mean, the game was just going by so quickly. Like we barely registered kind of what was going on. All of a sudden, it gets to the fifth, sixth inning, and it's just clipping by. And all of a sudden, the crowd is starting to kind of feel it and percolate. And yeah, he's got a perfect game going. And as I said to my buddy, like, yeah, perfect game. And with each out, you know, so the 20,000 people that are there are just starting to really get into it. And it just builds and builds and builds. So here we are for the 27th out, and it's just going nuts. And I took a video of it. I still have it. And just the the crescendo of when he hit the ball, when Miggy got it, when he had the flip, just the roar, and then the signal, and just the utter collapse was the most profound thing I've ever experienced from a crowd. And there was just a little bit of uncertainty, but no replay. And, Jim comes out and argues, but what was there to do at this point? It was
Yeah.
done. The call had been made. Jim Joyce made the call. And then just like the boos started to come. And then, I mean, he's got to pitch again. 2 minutes later, the game is over. And it's like, that's it. That's done. The Tigers won the game. I walked out of Comerica Park like somebody had died. Like it was the most somber experience of my life. I'm walking down the concourse with thousands of other people, and it is like we just walked out of a funeral visitation. Nobody is saying anything. There's a little bit of chatter about like, well, was he really out? Was he really safe? Because we didn't. It wasn't until I got back to the car and like listened to the radio, it was kind of confirmed that no, he was out because there was some uncertainty about it. They didn't show it on the board very clearly. It was kind of uncertain. People were picking it up on social media and stuff, but um, that was the most. It wasn't the most fun, but it was the most profound sports experience I've ever experienced.
Well, and not as exciting or as positive as mine, but one of the most historic moments in
Yep.
in baseball history in a way. And
Did you cover that game?
you know what? It's funny
Or you
because
off?
this is gonna kill you. Like I covered so many games, and I wasn't necessarily a Tigers fan while I covered them. That I have
Right.
so little recollection of the games, and I've always said I don't think I was at that game, but I think I was there the next day. And I just Googled it. I was there the next day.
Yep.
And I do remember that actually. Now that I remember like tweeting about that
Yep.
during like the pregame thing because that was an amazing
That was a
moment.
big deal. Yep.
But I always said I don't think I was at the game. I'm sure I was at the game. I would remember I was at that game. But I was at the game the next day.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. First of all, I have a question. Do you think Major League Baseball should retroactively flip that and make that a perfect game?
Nope.
I
Nope.
agree with you, and I'm sure fans will kill me for this. But here's the thing. I just looked it up. If there have been 24 perfect games in MLB history, according to this AI overview Google search. So yeah, it looks like that's right. So if you count Galarraga's 25, okay, name another one. And I know it's
Right.
different because you were a Tigers fan and you were
Yep.
there. It's the most famous perfect game in history because it was
I,
imperfect.
I look back on it and I was going to make the same point. I think it makes it more profound, more interesting that it didn't happen almost than it did. Like I'm with you. Like what are the last three or four perfect games in baseball? Like I don't think I could come up with them.
He's got the only 28 out perfect game in MLB
Right.
history. Like, and Adam, I feel bad for him. He deserved the honor. He deserves to have that next to him. But everybody knows he threw a perfect game. Like,
Yep.
you can watch it again. It's a perfect game. You can see that the call was blown. It's a
Yep.
perfect game. Nobody made I don't know what those ESPN shows are, E60,
Yeah.
something 90, whatever those shows are that ESPN makes. No, I don't think there's any other ones about any.
Yeah.
The most recent one was thrown by
The Yankees kid, young guy.
Domingo Herman.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I have zero recollection of that. And it was 2 years ago.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
So I don't like changing history. The rules were the rules the way they were. There was no replay. It's a shame he didn't get it, but really it kind of lives in infamy because
Yep.
of the fact that it didn't get there. But man, that's amazing that you were there right there too. Like first
I know
baseline.
that's the only thing I'm really sad about. Like the Tigers have been playing baseball in the American League for 100 and however many years. And I happened to be there the night that they should have had their first and only perfect game in the history of the franchise, and they didn't.
Yeah.
But the more I look back on it, the sweeter it kind of becomes. Like, I was there to experience it, and it was amazing.
A couple of things, just random facts about Armando Galarraga while we're on this topic. Two things I remember about him. One, he would have had to affect adjusted his life in the pitch clock era.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I remember Jim Leland yelling at him from the dugout on like a 87-degree day that his fielders were going to die on the field if he didn't throw the freaking ball. Like yelling at him, throw the ball. Your
Yep.
guys are dying behind you.
Yep.
And another time he did a magic trick with cards, and I go do that again, and he did it, and I'm like, oh, I could do that now. Like he fancied himself like a magician,
And
and
it
it was
wasn't that
quite
impressive.
possibly the worst card trick I've ever seen. But the key to being a magician is you don't do it twice.
Yeah, yeah.
But the first time I thought I knew what he had done. The second time I absolutely knew what he had done. So bad magician, slow pitcher, dang near perfect game. Armando Galarraga, God bless him.
North River Vodka. It's Michigan's true spirit. Now back to Chris and Eric.
Welcome back to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. I'm Chris. I'm here with Eric. This is a guestless show. Is this episode 8?
Yeah.
I think this is episode 8.
Nobody's
Maybe
checking.
we'll quit counting when we get to 10. I'm 87% sure we'll be back next week, and I'm 92% sure that if we are, we will have a guest. And we got a couple good guests lined up. We just have not slotted them into dates, but stay tuned with us in the coming weeks because we'll have some guests that are better than we deserve. Do you think that's fair? To be honest,
Doesn't take
anybody
much.
who will spend 20 minutes with us is better than we deserve. But this is the final segment of. Go ahead. You're going to say something?
Yeah, you might reach out to us. You might be a guest. You never know.
I know you text us Wednesday at like 7 o'clock. We might be looking for somebody. So
Send you the Zoom link. Let's go.
we should just make the Zoom link public sometime and just talk to
See who shows up.
whoever shows up. Be like, hey, who are you? That'd be cool. Everybody's got a story. We should do that sometime. This is the final segment. This is the game we like to call Rock or Crock. This is a game where I describe a band that is going to play a show in Michigan soon. I give Eric their real name. I give him a fake name that I've made up, and then he tries to pick which is which. Last
Kind of
week,
dominating lately, by the way.
yeah, last week last week I was remiss because I did not say where they were playing. But the Moon Goons were the topic of last week's Rock or Crock, and they are playing November 8th at the Pyramid Scheme. So if you'd like to see yourself, they are with Bonehawk, Overdrive Orchestra, and 10 Peso Version is what that looks like. So 4-band bill, November 8th, Pyramid Scheme. Go check them out. But we have a new version of Rock or Crock. This is a big one because if Eric wins this one, he's going to reach the 500 level and have his first ever 3 Rock or Crock winning
Got to
streak.
lock in. Lock in.
Are you
Taking notes.
ready for Rock or Crock?
I got my
The
pencil.
music inserted here by
I'm ready.
Logan. Thank you, Logan. That probably won't be theme music there because Logan doesn't exist, just like our guests. We should have Logan. We're having Logan on tonight. He doesn't exist. So are you ready, Eric?
Yes.
All right. Again, this is very complicated. Do you want the complicated version or do you want the more complicated version?
Only
Let's
the
just go.
complicated version.
Oh, really? Okay. This band is an indie rock trio from Portland, Maine.
Oh,
Formed in 2015, the band is known for its fuzzed out sound and, get ready for the old bit, emotionally raw lyrics
Boys of the Emotion.
that blend 90s alt rock with modern intensity. The band's sound often explores themes of feeling stuck, burnout, and navigating early adulthood. No, this is not Hot Mulligan. We can name 1,000 bands that sing about being stuck, burnout, and early adulthood. Blink-182, it's not them. So, indie rock trio, Portland, Maine, buzzed out sound, emotionally raw lyrics, 90s alt rock, modern intensity, stuck, burnout, navigating early adulthood. Are you ready for your 2 names?
Yeah.
I'm covering my face as I always do, so you cannot get a read on me.
I thought you were a poker player.
Is
Get
this
good.
band? Let's see if I get the flap on my camera to work.
No, you can't hide. Show me a poker face.
I don't like you speculating. While
Do
you're
you
looking at me
hide when
grinning
you
like
go all in? Come on.
played the World Series of Poker several years ago, and the first
Yeah.
day I played like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And every hand I got in 10 hours, so 400 hands.
Yeah.
Before I looked at my cards, I had a hoodie on and I pulled it over my mouth. And I looked at my
Oh,
cards.
soft.
That
It's a
was my
weak
that was my
move.
system. I don't wear sunglasses or like turtlenecks, but I did cover my mouth when I first looked at my cards.
I heard the
So
hot
anyway,
thing is now you look at the person's pulse. Is that true? I've heard that's a thing.
gosh, are we going to go on a poker tangent? We
No,
should have a guest. We should have a poker guest soon.
soon.
I have a friend
We'll
who
ask him that
says
question.
I have a friend who I play with, and there's a guy we used to play with, and he says if I can see his neck, I can read him
Yep.
because he swears that his
The
neck would
jugular.
pulsate if he was bluffing or not. I don't know. But there are, yes, you can read, which is why I'm covering my face. Do we need to review this? It's been
No,
so
no, give me
long.
the names. Lot
Is the name of the band, this is enunciation, Weekend Friends, like
weekend
weekend
friends.
friends,
Yep.
but not weekend friends, weekend friends.
Weekend.
Do
Okay.
you get it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
These friends have been
It's a
more
play
weak
on
lately.
a
Yeah.
play on weekend friends, clearly. Weekend friends, or is this
Yeah.
band named Kicking Sophia?
Kicking Sophia.
Before you answer while you ponder this, I have another, we could do a double rock or crock because I have another band on the same bill and I have another rock or crock lined up. So before you hit 500, do you want to go double rock or crock tonight? Because you might get above 500 in one night.
I
You have
gotta
to tell
go
me
for
that
it.
you're going
Eh,
for the double down.
And in
All right.
case I fumble this, I have a chance at redemption.
Okay. Is
All right.
it Weekend Friends or Kicking Sophia?
It's kicking Sophia. I feel like the propositioned names are going to lean punny and need a little bit of explanation. So I'm going kicking Sophia. That's the real name.
So a popular activity at my family's gatherings at the river, on Manistee River every summer, and especially the 4th of July, is that my young nieces and nephews, and now my nieces and nephews' kids, swing on a swing set, and somebody throws a doll at them, and they kick it into the air, and the doll's name is Sophia. So kicking Sophia is an ode to, and my kids used to do this too. This is like a 20-year tradition, I think. Poor Sophia's filthy. Um, so you
You
are
got
wrong.
me. I
I'm
got
sorry
got.
that Weekend Friends is actually headlining this show. But you said you are now 3-5, so you're not going to make it to 500 tonight. But we're going forward, right?
Yes, I
Double
need a
dipping.
chance of redemption.
I'm reading this description from online. Okay, so there might be a word in here that some people might find offensive. I'm reading the description, and this may have been written by the album, by the label. Okay, this is kind of long too. This band is what happens when the Miller High Life gets legs and starts walking around on its own.
Okay.
A rippin' four-piece from Lansing, Michigan is for queers and steers alike.
Mm, important.
This band shows up at your town, rolls up their sleeves, and gets to work to deliver their blue-collar alt sound straight to your ears. I'm going to skip some stuff. They bring the nostalgia, twang, and punk rock rage of growing up in a small town to a city near you. This is how the Midwest was won.
Okay. Okay,
Miller High
band.
Life, ripping four-piece, queers and steers, blue collar alt sound. You got it all. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is this band called Rodeo Boys, or is this band called Cowboy Pound Cake?
Cowboy Pound Cake is a pretty good name. Or Rodeo Boys. Queers and steers alike.
I'm off camera. I'm gonna spit out my drink right there.
Can we admit in any circumstance, Cowboy Pound Cake is the superior band name? Without question. We can admit that to each other. Cowboy. That I always try to like think which one is manufactured in your brain. And Cowboy Pound Cake seems the most manufactured. Rodeo Boys is kind of like, oh, okay. I could see that being a real band name if they're going for that vibe where they might shy away from Cowboy Pound Cake. So I'm going to guess the real name is Rodeo Boys. Final answer.
Congratulations, you're a winner. This is the problem with this game, is that my favorite band names I can't even use because you
Yep.
sniff them out,
Yeah.
but it's because I'm so good. It's because my band names are so good. Usually I can tell you the origin of this. Honestly, I have a list of like 120 band names on my phone. I have no idea where I heard the words cowboy pound cake in order. I mean, can you even decipher like remember the Seinfeld episode where he wakes up and he's like, I made a note from a dream with a funny
Yep.
joke, and people don't have any idea what it is. I have no idea where cowboy pound cake came from. However, I have seen this is just like last week. I saw Moon Goons. I've seen Rodeo Boys.
Yep.
Rodeo Boys opened for Winona Fighter, one of
Mm.
my favorite bands of ever, but also this year specifically, um, at the Sanctuary in Hamtramck, which is
Mhm.
an amazing venue. I didn't have any idea who Rodeo Boys were when I showed up, and they were a pleasant surprise. I would go see Rodeo Boys
Cool.
again.
I don't know.
So
I love punny names, like just like mashups. Like my favorite band name that I came up with lately is that if I had a band, I'd call it Monocle Lewinsky. I think that'd be
that's
funny.
very good. See, but
It's a
here's the
little,
problem is I got out to an early lead on this because you didn't figure out my system. But now if I want to win, I have to throw in some bad names, which is
yeah, you got to make it
Kiki
boring.
Sophia was pretty random, but I thought you would fall for that. So you
I
don't know
did.
which I'm trying to make it so you don't know which way I'm going. But
I'm just a pawn.
congratulations. Congratulations. You went 1 for 1 tonight. You are
Thank you.
4 and 5.
Right
And
back where I started.
by the way, Rodeo Boys are opening for Weekend Friends on November 7th at the Lager House in Detroit. Have you been to the Lager House?
Never.
It's a shame because one of your biggest musical regrets was a concert you did not attend at
Yeah,
Lager
it's like
House.
that tiny place. That band from Newcastle.
The
Who was it?
capacity, first of all, let me introduce this for a second. The capacity at Lager House is 200, and I would not be comfortable if there were 200 people in that room. I would expect it to be like
Fire
120.
Hazard.
The cool thing is the stage is in the front of the room,
Yep.
and behind the drummer is a window.
Yep.
So while the band is rocking, people are walking down the street behind the band and can see the band from behind and clearly hear the band because it's a tiny venue. The band that I saw there with our friend Joe, which you regretted not seeing, was Demob Happy.
Yeah, that's it. I am pissed
And
about that.
what a show. Like we were a foot from the stage because you could only get 20 feet from the stage. Um, but what a show. And what's cool is sometimes I go on rabbit holes and I cruise YouTube and somebody recorded that entire concert. If you Google the Mob Happy and Lager House, you can you can see the show. But what a riot. What a great band. Yeah, one of my favorite English bands.
Yeah, they're from Newcastle.
Yeah. It's
That's what I
funny.
remember.
You know what I love about
My
concerts?
favorite team.
You go to a concert. Yeah. You go to a concert and you can instantly be friends with the people there because they have something in common, right?
Yep.
We were chatting with the people in front of us and they mentioned a band and it was a quite popular band and I had never heard of them because they were too popular for me to hear of because I listened to unknown bands, I guess. And then I told them about a band that we've talked about before called Tiger Cub.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, we went up and talked to Mob Happy. I have a piece of artwork. I have a drum head that they draw up art on one drum head after each show, and they sell it for way too much money,
Sure.
probably to pay for food.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to buy it. I've got it in my house. Because again, I don't know how much you make playing shows that have 100 people at them.
Right.
But I was talking to them and I mentioned how much I also enjoyed Tiger Cub. And the guy from Mob Happy said, we all used to live together.
Oh,
Like
really?
the lead singer for Tiger Cub, if you remember, is literally 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Tall boy.
And his name's Jamie. And the guy was like, yeah, our band crashed with their band at Jamie's 1 bedroom apartment. Like they used to, the 6 or 7 of them or whoever
Yep.
knew each other and crashed together. So it was cool. I just thought it was funny that I was like, hey, random fan, you should also listen to Tiger Cub and then mention them to Demob Happy and former Amies. So congratulations and condolences on Rock 1-1 this week. Um, that's the end of that, I guess. Do you have anything for the people? Like, subscribe, auto download. I don't
Yep.
even know what you're supposed to say. Insert a quarter, spin the wheel.
Buy some
Yeah,
North River vodka, support live music, enjoy yourself, and try to celebrate all the good things in Michigan this week.
absolutely. Thanks and good night.
Goodbye.